Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
The show where we talk about anything from God to jelly beans, and you can speak your mind. And today I just want to discuss something with you very briefly. If you notice, the channel has changed from Random Thoughts to Fun with the 4 Eggs, and that's because I'm starting my family vlog. Yeah, I'm jumping on the bandwagon, y'all. Yes. You're gonna see what my home life is like and what it's like for me as a single mom, and me doing a segment. Well, my children are gonna have their own thing on the channel. They're gonna have their own segments, and then I'm doing my segment of what it's like to be a single parent and how I'm coping with it, how I'm dealing with it, and everything else. So you guys, please bear with me. Another thing I just wanted to do, just get something off my chest. I just gotta let you know what's been happening so far. It's just been some weird behind stuff that's been going on. Well, number one, okay, put my car into the shop. About over, let's say, a month or so ago. No, it's going on 2 months now. Wow, it's been that long. Anyway, put the car into the shop. The man had it for not 1, not 2, but 3 weeks, because he was waiting on a computer that was rebuilt correctly, because and long story short, the computer I guess got wet because of where it's positioned in the car. It's a Grand Caravan 10. And I'm saying all that to say, okay, the Grand Caravans, anybody that knows about cars, they no longer make computers for the Grand Caravan, especially 2003. I have 2003, so they just rebuild them. Okay, well, every computer that this man got, it was, not functional. It wasn't functioning. He was waiting for another computer to come. He was going to put it in, and then I could pick up the car. The same exact day that the computer came in, he went to go work on it, and the car was not there. Apparently, someone stole the car from the shop. Okay, tell me how that happened when the first computer that he did put in there was defunct. Okay, I guess it was operable, but not well enough for me to take home forever. So he said he looked like, I kind of want to blow him up. I'm getting ready to call this officer that's working on, I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to tell you the things that are going through my head because it's wrong. I don't want to accuse anybody and then look like a fool. But anyway, apparently someone knew, whoever knew what to do to get it hooked up, to rehook the computer back up that was sitting there unhooked, okay, and drove it off the property. So someone stole my van. And I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, so, I hadn't had a car for like a month now. And now I don't have a car. My family and I, we just don't have a car. So where I live, that's a big thing, because I don't live in a city area. I live in the suburbs. And just to get to some kind of near civilization or someplace like a decent store, you gotta drive a mile. Okay? So if you don't have a car, that means you gotta walk a mile or take a bus, which is $2.25. I can't complain, because the buses are like, what, out there in the city, like $2.75? I can't complain. But still. And then the buses come every hour. They don't come like every 15 minutes. Where I live, they come like every hour. Okay, so if you miss that one bus, you're gonna be stuck there, standing at the bus stop for a whole entire hour. Somebody say, God have mercy on me. So yeah, so that's what's been going on in my life right now. Car was stolen from the repair shop. Never heard of that. A lot of people that I'm telling this story to or telling what happened, they're like, something don't sound right, something sound fishy. And if it wasn't the owner that knew what happened, then it had to have been one of the workers that was there that knew what happened, because how did they know what was wrong with it? You had to have known. Somebody had to have known what was wrong with it in order for them to steal it. Okay. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Now, the next thing is, oh my gosh. All right. I'm at a crossroads in my life, because not only am I single and I'm trying to go back to school, and now I'm trying to go back to work, but I do have a partial disability, and I don't really like talking about it a lot, but my legs and my back, they're like messed up. They're getting a lot better, I have to say that. But then I also have an autoimmune disease, and you know, I'm pushing myself to work, and a lot of times I'm pushing myself to work. It is taxing, you know, to go out there, push myself to work, and come back home, and then work at home, and then deal with my children and school, and then my own stuff. It's just a lot. And what I'm doing is a high stress job, and I shouldn't be taking it, because I can have a relapse. Somebody pray for this sister right here. And I'm at a crossroads, because, you know, I filed for disability, and I always go through this. Every time when I get ready to file for disability, it's like a job opportunity opens to me, and I take it, and then I have a relapse, and then I have to, you know, the last relapse that I had cost me 5 years not working. Like, I was sick for 5 years. Like, I literally had to learn how to walk all over again, like literally. And I don't know, guys, these are things that I got to pray about, you know. But I'm sharing it with you guys because I'm sure that there are a lot of single parents, men, women alike, who are facing these difficulties. Like, it's not easy. And then it's like, you go to the schools like they're not really on their post, and they know they're not. You know, come on. I used to work in the school system, and they're not teaching the way that they used to. They're not functioning nowhere near the way that they used to, and they know it. And it's like if you're in a crappy school system, which, you know, my children aren't in a crappy school system, they're pretty decent, but it's public school, it's not private. So it's like they're not really getting taught like on the level of private school. You know, everybody knows that, you know. But my thing is, they don't have any compassion on people who are single parents. And I really think it is a racial thing, to be honest. Why I'm really getting it hard, because, you know, there is a stigma like that people have, like, okay, you see a single black mom, and of course, you know, she had like 4 baby daddies or 5 baby daddies, and, you know, she on welfare, and, you know, they like, I had gotten that a lot in the other school district that I was in, but then I had to like shut that down. Not that it's their business, but, you know, I was divorced. I was married. I had all my kids by one man. And I always hear this a lot. Like, you have all your kids by one man? Like, oh my gosh. Yes, black women do settle down. And some of us do get married. And some of us have all of our children by one man. Yes. It is possible, okay? In this day and age, it is possible for black women to get married and have all their children by one man. It just angers me. You know, I hear this a lot, like, oh my gosh. And another thing, because my children, they don't have names like Luquinda or whatever like that, you know, Luquinda or Latasha or Letitia, you know, not saying anything's wrong with those names, but you know, they have, I feel like they're unique, but they're not, you know, they don't sound black. They sound ethnic, but not black ethnic. So when they're, you know, hearing my children's names, they're like, you took great thought into the way you named your really? Y'all gotta say those kind of things? You know, this is the kind of thing that I have to face as a single black mother. I don't know how it is as a single white mother or a single Hispanic mother or a single Native American mother. I don't, well, I have Native American blood in me, but I'm not tribal. So it doesn't even matter. They look at me, they say I'm black. But my thing is, I'm having a black experience. So I don't know what everybody else faces. All I can say is I know the stigmas that are placed on me because of this and the things that I have to fight through. And I've seen them, you know, they have moms, white moms, and I've worked in the school system. I've seen how they treated the white mothers who are divorced, and they pamper them. They really, really do. When it comes to us black mothers, I just get a different feel. I just get like, well, okay, you're coming home from work, but this has to be done. It's not even like, well, I understand, well, let me help you. That's not even said. There's just such an attitude. Like, they get quiet and then they go back to what they were saying. Like, okay, but anyway, and you know, you have to work with your child at home. Okay, what don't you understand? I am working with my child at home, but it's not 100% because I'm coming home late. Okay. Well, okay, well, oh yeah, well, I understand that, but, you know, and it's always a but, so it negates what they just said. Okay. So these are things that I have to face, but I have placed it in my mind and my heart to really depend on God during this time, and to really seek Him to find out what I should do, because I don't want to be on, to be honest with you, I don't want to be on disability, but I don't want another, I don't want to go through like 5 years with like nothing. And you know, because I couldn't even claim compensation on my job because you know, the last job that I had, I couldn't because it was an illness, it was a sickness, and it wasn't caused on my job. So I was screwed for 5 years. Just, I really was. I wasn't, and I was not on welfare because I refuse to get on welfare. I'm going to be on nobody's welfare, okay? No, I'm not. But I just, anybody that understand what a sister or a brother got to go through, you know, a mother, a father who has lost their loved one, or who is divorced and they're raising their children by themselves, I think that we just all need to encourage each other. So right now, what I'm going to do in this situation, because I am facing a whole lot of life-changing situations, this is how I handle it. I pray, I talk to Jesus, and I tell Him all about it. And I wait for a response. Either a door closing or a door opening, or some kind of word when I go to my church. Because usually when I sit down and I go to church, the very thing that I'm going through, the pastor will preach on, and he don't know anything about it. And that's God. Okay? Or either I'll you know, open up my Bible and boom, it's just right there. Okay? What I need to do. So I'm going to pray about it, talk to God about it, and just wait for Him to minister to my heart and let me know. And I'm just encouraging all you single people out there with children, you gotta fall back. And I say the best one to fall back on is God. But if you're not a believer, you gotta fall back on something positive. Nothing crazy, nothing that's going to mess your mind and your attitude up, because your children need you and you're the only one that's there that they can depend on. So you have to be dependable, you have to be okay. So you gotta fall back or some kind, of something positive, to me, I encourage everybody to fall back on Jesus. I really do, because he's real and he does answer prayers and he will help you. Get into a good church home. That's what I say. Like, get into some kind of group or something that can, that who understand what you're going through, who can be there in your time of need, and not try to take over your household, but just, encourage you and give you what you need, whenever you need it. I thank God for my church home, because when I first got separated from my husband, it was just a devastating time. I was just like, because I had 4 children and I had 2 who had ADHD, and they weren't diagnosed at the time, and everybody was saying they're too young to be diagnosed, so they're jumping all over the darn place. And I was losing my mind, because it was like not 4 kids in the house, it was like 12 kids in the house. So yeah, and I had to do all that by myself. I did have my mother try to move in, but that wasn't working, because that just wasn't working. And it was just a hard time. And then when I started going to the church I'm going to now, they were such a blessing. I mean, there were things that I wouldn't have been able to do if it wasn't for them. And the Bible Church of Christ in the Bronx, BX, New York. I got prayer, I got help. Everything, physically, spiritually, naturally. All my needs were met at that place. I can't lie and say they weren't. They saw a need, and they're true saints, they're true believers, and they really, was there for me and my children. I thank God for placing me at that place at that time. But you have to have a good support system when you're going through something like this. That's all I can say to y'all who this is 17 minutes. Whoa, I'm gonna have to cut this. But try to stay, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to cut all this 18 minutes. Try to stay in a place where you can receive support and help and spiritual upbuilding. Now, I'm not talking about anything crazy like, oh, you get psychic and all that. No, because that stuff is spiritually dangerous. Y'all don't even realize it, but it is. But something that's going to help, edify, build up you and your household, your children. Alright, just had to say that. This random thought is really long, but I just wanted to announce the spinoff. Watch this, all you single parents, and even those who maybe aren't single. Watch my vlog so that you can see what we actually go through as single parents. It's not easy, and this way, if you come across somebody, you might look at them a little bit differently and with more compassion. All right, peace out.